What's going on, guys? It's me, your host, the one and only Two Toast. And today, I wanted to actually bring more of like a serious type video. And right out the bat, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be editing these videos. Mainly because, honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like go back and edit it. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna post it if excuse me, I don't know if I'm actually gonna post it if I go back and really edit these videos, or I might chop something out that I might should leave in there just because I'm feeling insecure about something. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but basically this is just going to be a little series where I'm just talking about things that are either uh, bothering me or that I'm just thinking about and just feel like I want to just get off my chest, talk about it. I'm not gonna. This is all just gonna be like personal, experience stuff, just how I'm dealing with stuff or my thought process on things because I can't do a series really like about like the type of that I'm trying to do with this. Just talking about like just mental health things and just issues in generals that people be having. I can't really give advice to anyone on that just because one, I'm not a professional by any means, and number two, I don't want to give anyone wrong advice or advice that's going to be negative for them. So the only thing I can do is sit here, talk to, well, essentially myself, and hopefully you guys can take away from just something from my personal experience and maybe use it to benefit yourselves. I don't know. Let's just talk about it. The main thing I wanted to talk about today was just motivation. Motivation in general, not any one specific aspect of it, just in general. I'm feeling like now is a good time to do this. One because I've been wanting to do this. Excuse me. I've been wanting to do these videos for a while now, and honestly, I kept making excuses, kept putting it off, kept thinking of another content idea because these videos are just hard for me to make cuz I'm not good about just sitting down and talking to anyone really about just what I'm thinking, what's going on inside my head. So, I'm trying this as maybe it'll be a better way to just get it out there. I don't know. But motivation, man. Motivation. I'm trying to get more of it. I'm trying to get better at it. I think everyone is. I think, everyone needs a little bit more motivation. I mean, I know there's certain people out there that for some reason, somehow, some way, they just fucking wake up every morning, open their eyes, and they're able to just go, 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 skippy on, you know what I mean? Do 20 million things in the day. And it's just like, where do you find the motivation to do all this shit, right? Like, it's hard, man. It's hard. And I think a lot of it, at least for me, is just coming from being confused. Confused about things, just life in general, I guess, where I'm going, what I want to do. Just waking up every morning just being unsure. I think that's where everyone lacks where it comes from. Not everyone, obviously, but at least I feel like a big part of it is just being confused. And, it's like if I don't know, why try for something that you don't know is going to happen in the first place, that has a very narrow chance of happening depending on what it may be. I don't know. Like specifically for me, just the only things that really help me get out of bed in the morning are one, my girlfriend, and trying to help us, together and get us into a better spot and just, do what do my part, do what I can, and just try and make sure that I'm not like inhibiting us in any way from progress and moving forward, if that makes any sense. And number two is just these videos, man. These just creating the content. I love just making the videos, and I also have a whole bunch of things that I want to do in the future regarding like a clothing brand, a clothing company that I plan on starting up. I've tried to start it up in the past a couple of times. worked out a couple kinks. I've had to close down shop like 2 or 3 times now just because it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I was envisioning. I just don't, and I didn't feel right trying to push something majorly and promote something to all 100% and 110% of my effort and strength into something that I couldn't back myself 100%. But you know what I mean? Like I got some ideas with that. I don't want to give too much away with that because, I can't just sit here spewing out all my ideas. You know what I mean? That's not that can't work like that. But there's only a few things that really be getting me out of bed and going. And honestly, like I'm figuring out is that a few things, 1, 2, 3 things, is really all you need. You don't need a whole bucket list of items. In fact, I think that makes it worse. When you put too much on your plate, that's that having too much on your plate is another thing that, for me at least, causes me to not feel motivated or just feel like, where do I even begin? Like, I don't know. It seems like if I have just a couple things that I can stay focused on and just dedicate 110, 120% of my energy and effort to, it makes it a little bit easier instead of trying to split everything up into like, using 10% of my energy to do this, 15% over here, you know what I mean? There's only like a couple big goals, a couple main goals that I really have, that I really want to achieve. And now, that's also a gray area, because if you have too big of goals, you set too big of goals, which you want those. You want your main big goals, right? But when you leave that huge umbrella up there, it makes it hard to really feel like you're getting anywhere, because really you're trying to get to this one place, but when you're looking at it as a whole, it's very intimidating. You need to break it down into pieces, into like parts. You need to set, mini goals and mini achievements for yourself along the way, because I've at least for me, that's the only way that I think is gonna keep me moving forward, instead of being like, let's just say, I'm just gonna use, for me, content creation as an example, or the clothing thing, but we'll just stick with content creation for now. I'm really hoping, or really, it would be great if I could, I would love for these videos and just this community, this family that I'm hoping to try and create, just gather everyone together in a nice chill place, a nice safe place where you guys can just relax, talk about whatever you guys want to in the comments. No one, hopefully, I don't really feel like anyone should be judging you over here, man, because honestly, like, judgment, like, that's gonna be a whole other video. I'm not even gonna get into that right now, but we'll stick to what I'm talking about for now. I would love to reach that thousand subscriber mark. Do I ever know if it's gonna happen? Do I ever expect it to happen? No, I have no idea. I can't expect anything like that to ever happen or come my way. You know what I mean? Do I feel like I deserve it? No. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can only hope and just keep moving forward little by little. And that 1,000 subscriber mark is very fucking daunting. Like, it really is. Especially like, because I like making the weed videos, and most of my videos get age restricted, so that automatically limits the potential of people that can see these videos. At least a lot of my videos in general. So that doesn't help, but it's also just like, I'm hoping for things too fast. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping to wake up and see a new subscriber, a new view, a new like. And it's like, I can hope for it, but I need to just, there's that line, that fine line between hope and expecting. You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect it, you can only hope, but you can't be mad or upset. It's hard to not be mad or upset. You need to find that mental balance within yourself to just be okay if it doesn't happen. Or have another plan, another fallback if this one thing you're going for doesn't work out the way you're hoping for. You know what I mean? Because hardly anything ever does, right? You got to try things fucking 10, 15, 20 times before something works out. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's why I keep creating these videos, because I don't know. The next video, the next idea, the next, you know what I mean, could be the one that garners that extra view, that extra like, that extra subscriber, that next person to add to this community of people. And can I, like I said, can I expect that to happen? No. Can I hope for it? Yeah. You know, I'd like to be able to, at least. But as far as motivation goes, as far, you know, because I feel like is that off topic a little bit, but it also kind of ties into it, because when you wake up each morning for weeks, days on end, and you don't see any change, but you're putting work into things and you're spending time and your energy into trying to do something, whatever it may be, and it feels like you're making no progress, that's where the motivation starts to decline. Right there is, you just lose it. Like, you just start to lose it, because it's like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? That's what that, at least for me, that's what I start to feel like, is like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing with my life? Is this what I should be spending my time on? Because at least for me, I don't have any other fallback. You know what I mean? Like, I already knew that going through high school and everything like that, already high school wasn't for me. I hated high school. I feel like a lot of people did. Um, but I also knew that I wasn't going to any college or even a trade school. And for me, the reasoning for that wasn't because I had any beef with people or the idea of going to it and trying to garner this higher education. It was just every single time I tried to look into one of these subjects, one of these trades, one of these, just anything, you know what I mean? Like, any program that these schools, that these recruiters would come to the high school have to offer, any of these trade things, I was just never interested. And I thought, you know, for the longest time going through high school, I was like, what the fuck is kind of, you know, wrong with me? Like, why is nothing at all piquing my interest? I felt like something should have been, right? And even if I tried to make myself interested in something, it never stuck. I could never stay motivated in a specific area. Uh, and even with content creation, I've taken, you know, breaks, hiatuses that I have now realized have been a big cause of a lot of issues for me as far as that, because this is the one thing that I've been able to come back to time and time again. It's the only thing, like, I've wanted to make the next video. Even when I wasn't creating videos, my mind was just constantly being flooded with content ideas that I fucked up and never wrote down, because, you know what I mean, just because, like, I was like, at the time I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna ever do this again. I don't know if this is gonna be what I'm actually gonna try to just spend my time on, you know what I mean? Like, and I know that it's just, you know, videos should just technically, you know, be considered a hobby. YouTube, if you're uploading to YouTube, it has to just be a hobby. You have to just love making content, because, like I said, can't expect anything to ever come from you creating content. You just most likely never will happen. And I'm sitting here and I understand that. And that's why, like, I'm just doing this because I need to create the next video in order for my mind to just be at ease. Like, if I go more than 4 or 5 days, even 3 days, without being able to upload a new video, I start just beating myself up, man. And that right there, being too hard on yourself is another thing that motivation, it kills, man. It just fucking slashes that shit in half, bro. Like when you start hating on yourself for no reason, and even if you feel like you do have a reason, half the time that reason is just made up in your mind. Like it just is. You know what I mean? And you don't it's hard to realize it at the time. Even I don't. Even sitting here telling you this now, when I'm in those moments and I'm in that headspace, is so fucking hard for me to get out of it, to try to look at it from just like a non, like, I don't know, not a non inside, an outside perspective. Trying to just be more self-aware. Just, it's really hard to pull myself out of that when you're in that headspace, man. And it takes a while, it does. And you know, that's another thing that I'm realizing, is that's okay. You it's okay if it takes a little while for your motivation or for things to build back up from the place that you were, because things just don't happen overnight, man. They just don't. They don't. And if you think they do, you're just wrong. I mean, certain cases, very like 1 in a billion, 1 in a million chances, things, yeah, I guess they can happen overnight. Change comes in an instant, but as far as garnering a position of success in your life that is different for everyone, your idea of success is different than mine, and just getting to your place where of just happiness, you know, contentness even, is just different for everyone, and the process of getting there is different for everyone. And it's okay if it takes 1, 2, 3 years, but that 1, 2, 3 years, it's hard to keep the motivation up for 1, 2, 3 years of seeing, you know, potentially nothing, not, you know, no reward for anything, and the potential risk to reward ratio could be slim to none, you know. But I feel like motivation excuse me, I feel like motivation in my mind is one of those things where essentially it's like a big ass heavy boulder you're pushing on, like, not a flat surface though, you know. It's got hills, it got dips, and it's got hills, man. It's got curves, it's got everything, right? So when you get it going on that flat surface, it's hard to get it going. And when you're on that flat surface, you know, you get the momentum up. Getting the momentum up is difficult as fuck. Once you get the momentum up, it's not that hard to keep going a little bit, right? Then you hit your first downhill, right? You hit your first downhill, and immediately you're like, this is fucking great. This is easy. Easy breezy. Everything's just going smooth. Smooth as can be, right? You get back down to the bottom of the dip. You get down to the bottom of the dip, man. And then you gotta go back up. But because you still have some of that momentum from the downhill, you get back up some of that hill. But then you start losing that downhill momentum, right? And you gotta manually push that boulder up the rest of up the rest of like the half of the hill or something like that. You know what I mean? And that half of the hill is a fucking killer, because you're not just on flat ground anymore. You're going uphill. You're going on an incline, and that heavy boulder feels twice as heavy as it did even on the flat surface. And you know, it could just kill you, man. You could. You just roll back sometimes. You stumble. You trip. You fall. But you don't, you never know what's on the other side of that hill. You don't know if on that crest it's going to be flat surface, or if it's going to be another downhill slope where your life is going to be easy for a few. You just don't know what's on the other side of the hill. And that was the worst analogy I could ever have thought of for the motivation. But that's just what came to my mind, guys. And basically, I don't know. That was just me, just, I guess, trying to very poorly talk about my thought process behind, I guess, motivation a little bit, and like what I think of it, and just how I try to keep it up, man. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to. I don't even. That's the worst part. Is like I can't even tell you like any specific ways of like how to keep it up, because I wake up every other day lacking fucking motivation that I need and I know I need still. And I genuinely know I'm still piecing together why. I'm still trying to figure it out. And that's the thing. That's just what life is, though. It's just a constant puzzle that's an ever shifting pieces. Like, the puzzle is constantly transforming, and you're constantly having to find new pieces to fit that new puzzle. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That's just. If anyone even watches this video, I'll be amazed, to be honest. Like, I don't know, like I said, if I'm going to be going back to edit this, because I don't know if I'm going to actually post it if I do go back and look at this, because I feel like this is probably fucking horrible. Like, my thought process is all over the fucking place. That's the problem. That's why I haven't made these videos either, is because I can't put together a logically structured fucking video, man. I just can't. I don't know why. I just can't. I hope maybe something helped you throughout this video. I don't know. Maybe you heard something even better. You heard something that I'm doing wrong, and hopefully you can do something, change something that I'm doing, and maybe it'll work better, man. Let me know. Drop it down in the comments. Just what motivational ideas, man. What do you guys do to keep motivated? What do you guys just feel about motivation in general? Let's start the conversation, if we can. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.